everyone, thank you for tuning in. I'm your instructor Joy. Thank you very much for your continued support. I really appreciate. So today we're going to talk about a technique called pizzicato. It's often spelled P-I-Z-Z with a dot. Means pluck with your finger, whether it's right hand or left hand, both ways. So if you see as a pit with a dot would be meaning pluck with the right hand. When you see a little cross above the note, that means left hand pizzicato. So we use that one a lot, whether it's a solo repertoire or orchestral repertoire. It's an indication of showing us stop playing with a bow, but as a sound effect, pluck it with a fingertip. And then if the composer wants us to continue or go back to using the bow, they write it arco, A-R-C-O, meaning go back to with a bow, on and on like that. So now pizzicato, whether it's right hand pizzicato or left hand pizzicato, is a great tool to have. I'm going to show you 5 common mistakes that I see with a lot of violinists in my studio, or also simply by observing it from other performers. And I'll share 5 common mistakes that I see, and hopefully you can avoid that one and make your playing your pizzicato as effective as beautiful. Number 1, plucking in the wrong placement. So of course you can pluck anywhere you like. It will sound pretty much all acceptable. But the difference is here, I don't know if you can see where the hair goes along, there's a lot of white rosin dust built in. Sometimes we don't have chance to grab one and clean the string. So if you pluck this part, it may sound fine, but you will get sticky finger. Sticky finger is not only unpleasant, but also sometimes if it gets sticky in the wrong part, it could interfere with our techniques. So instead, just go a little away from the white rosin part. Just go a little away. It can be just a little inside here, and then above the fingerboard, that's enough. That will be enough here. Yeah, just not here. That's the first common mistake. Second mistake is plucking with a nail. I mean, I don't have much nail that I can show you, but some violinists I see plucking with a nail like that. Not only it's very unpleasant to pluck with a nail, even if you have very healthy, strong nail, it's just the sound itself, it's not very beautiful, or it has a limited tone. Remember, pizzicato itself is much softer tone, so use a fleshier part or a thicker part and grab it, or you can sound much bigger, yeah, and rounder too if you would choose. There's something called Bartok pizzicato, which you have to pluck it and then make that sound there, as that comes later. But general, avoid using the nail for your own health and also a little more resonant pizzicato. Common mistake number 3. It often happens with a left hand. Pizzicato being too soft. Remember, pizzicato itself already reduces a lot of volume. So if you're playing like, and then you pluck, maybe you hear it. Maybe that's enough when you're in orchestra. But if you're a part of soloist as a string quartet, or the only soloist as a violin soloist, it's important your pizzicato should be heard to the audience, by the audience, just like any other one. So if you pluck it just like that, you might be able to hear. But people in the audience may see you plucking, but they don't hear it. So make sure you grab it deep enough and then make it big, beautiful tone, getting into string, and then allow to resonate by lifting up, just like you would play, or just like you would do with a bow. Same thing. And don't be too shy. And you can practice this technique just like any other technique, practicing grabbing with a fleshier part of fingertip. Some people use middle finger because it has a little fattier finger pad than the index finger. If you prefer, you can do that, each one. Some people use both, just to give a little break. Whichever that works, make sure you use a little flatter part of finger pad so you create fuller, a beautiful and loud enough soloistic tune. Number 4. Common mistake number 4. When I mentioned it, when the composer writes pizzicato means you pluck. When it says arco, that means you have to play with a bow, whether it's any kind of bow. And the pizz, arco, pizzicato. Let's say if we have to do one after the other. There's such repertoires a lot, solo and ensemble repertoires. Now, there are many ways of doing pizzicato. One of them is just like I did, you just hold the bow normally and just stick one finger, and therefore you pluck it, and if you just choose go back to the arco, you can just fold your index finger and you're ready to go. That's the fastest way, going back and forth, pizzicato and arco. Like that. But there's another way of plucking, which is rather for the early stage of students, we teach them just to grab it and then stick one finger. That way, because sometimes when we hold it like this, we feel like we're going to lose it. So to simplify, first we just ask students to grab it and stick one finger, whether it's 1 or 2, then this one works well. Another one we teach students to do is to resting the thumb on the corner of the fingerboard and then plucking. These 2 ways works well if you do pizzicato only for a long time without going back and forth arco and pizzicato. But if you have to do one after the other, these 2 types of bow hold is not ideal because it takes just more time. If I do pizzicato like this and then I almost lost it, as you can see. Or if I rest it like that, and then I have to get my finger, it takes too long, you get the point. So make sure when you have pizzicato and arco one after the other, allow the bow hold to stay, and then practice is sticking one finger, even if it's hard, you can do it. Now, the last one. Common mistake number 5, I see way too often, even professional players, is pizzicato is as important part of music just like anything else, which means it has to be played it with a musical idea and vibrato. We play beautifully. When it comes pizzicato, all of a sudden very dry, and all of a sudden no vibrato. It has to be vibrated just like anything else. Yeah, or not just dry, unless that's what you wanted to do as a musical element. That's a different story, but it has to be good reason. But try to make pizzicato just as beautiful as anything, or allowing to vibrate and then singing just like any other pieces. Yeah, I hope this gave you an idea. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all happy practicing. See you again. Bye bye.